Eddie Edwards, and you are listening to the Pro Wrestling Post podcast.
What's up, guys? You are listening to the Pro Wrestling Post podcast with your host, Mark Madison. This episode's guest is Impact Wrestling's Eddie Edwards. Visit ProWrestlingPost.com for interviews, blogs, and upcoming events in your area. You can also find the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or whatever podcast app you prefer. And now, here's Mark Madison.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Post podcast, and I am joined by a very special guest, Impact Wrestling's Eddie Edwards. Eddie, thank you for your time and your energy.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Now, in your career that spanned over 15 years, what can you say leading up to this weekend have been some of the biggest challenges, some of the biggest triumphs, though?
And throughout my career?
Yeah,
through there's been numerous injuries, but, one of the major injuries of my career was, I broke my elbow when I was part of Ring of Honor. I broke my elbow in a match against Kevin Steen, who is now Kevin Owens. And then the next night, we actually had a ladder match, myself and David Richards against Kevin and Sami Zayn. And basically, it was where I had to wrestle a match with my arm in a straight cast. So I couldn't really do much, but that was something that I obviously had to get through and survive. And it's funny how it worked out, because in the end, the fans ended up respecting me for doing that, and it kind of helped elevate me to the next level. And then, there's every time you get an injury, I broke my heel when I was part of Impact Wrestling. I get hit in the eyeball with a baseball bat. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, something like that. Something that floated around.
These are things that us as professional wrestlers we have to deal with. We know it's part of the game and part of the territory. But anytime it happens, anytime you see it happens, it sucks. But it's something that you have to use it as, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger type thing. I have a Rocky quote tattooed on my arm for a reason. And, it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And that's kind of the mentality that I've always wanted to have in wrestling, and I try to use that in my persona.
Yeah, that was Rocky Balboa, I think, right?
Yes, indeed.
That last one.
Very underrated one.
It was actually. I think Apollo or Creed 2. They're going to do coming out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So I guess that mental toughness, that kind of how does that early training kind of prepare you for that, though?
It's wrestling when you first get into it. When I first started training at Killer Kowalski, it's something that you have to completely immerse yourself in, and that's what you have to do, and that's what you do. And when you first obviously start training, everything hurts, everything you do hurts, but it's something that if you stick with it, you're gonna get through it, and it's gonna get better, and it's gonna get easier. And when I first started, in my mind, this is all I wanted to do. So no matter what, nobody was going to stop me. And, there's a reason that I wanted to use the moniker Die Hard. It wasn't for the movie. It was for, a kind of an attitude, a type of feeling where I will get beat up. I'll get hurt, but I'm going to get up again. And I've used that, throughout in numerous matches throughout my career. And that's just the type of guy that I want to be. You know what I mean? That's somebody that I respect, and I want to be that somebody for somebody else.
No, and you're definitely doing that, right? To exemplify Die Hard isn't just kind of something trendy or cool. You gotta believe it and live it every single day.
Yeah, exactly. That's I've always wanted to say that. It's not just a nickname. Even if I'm not using it at the time or using it now as Die Hard Eddie Edwards, it's still that same mentality that I have. I just want to leave it out there in the ring. I want to feel, when I come back from a match, I want to feel that I just wrestled the match. I just wrestled a big match. I want to not feel the pain, but I want to feel that I left it all out there, and I want to just be drained of emotion and drained of my physical abilities by the time I get to the back. That means that you're doing what you love.
Oh, for sure. Now, speaking of places where you're drained emotionally, physically, where the level of competition, competing in both North America and Japan lends itself to different challenges, different styles. What can you say from competing in different places? It feels like more the Japanese style kind of is adapted here. But what have you noticed differences, similarities? It's kind of changed over your career, right?
Yeah. I've always been a big fan of the Japanese wrestling, and that's why I went over there to train with Pro Wrestling Noah, train in their dojo, and kind of work my way up that company, work my way up that card. And when I first got over there, it's just it's a different mindset over there. There's a very strong sense of respect for guys who came before you, and they make you earn a shot. If you're gonna be given a match on the show, or if you're gonna earn a match on the show, you're truly gonna earn that through training, through everything you do. You're gonna earn that, and that's something that I went over there when I was early 20s, so that's something that helped me grow, not just as a professional wrestler, but as a person, and that's something that still sticks with me today, and that's something I'm very grateful to have done, is to have that sense of respect instilled in me, and that's something that I like to try to give on to other people, and that was like kind of the biggest difference, because in the States you can find wrestling school and train and kind of pay whoever and train or whatever, but over there they scout you, they bring you in. You have to try out to earn a spot in the dojo to train. So that was really cool to see the sense of respect they have for the sport of professional wrestling.
I've heard of some of the training, like 5,000. It's like 300 squats, and like the training and the taxing just in preparation is a whole nother level.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, it was, we'd wake up, we'd go up, it's me and a few other young guys who are trainees. We'd go up, we'd, clean the dojo, clean the weights, clean the ring. Then we'd train, we'd do the 500 squats, we'd do the 50, bumps, we'd do however many sit-ups and 300 push-ups and all that. And then we'd go downstairs, and then, they make some food, and the other guys, the veterans would come down and eat, and then, that's how it went every single day. And, if we went out on the road, we'd, be carrying supplies and all that, and helping get things set up in the arena. And then before the show, you'd go out there and do that same training. It was something that, when I first went over there, I couldn't get through it. I couldn't, it was training that I had never done, the type of training I'd never done before. So, these bridges and everything, I'm trying to do it, and I couldn't get through it, and I felt awful. I felt like, man, I made a mistake. I can't even do this. But then slowly but surely, you get through it, and slowly but surely, I'm doing better and better, and then I can get through it, and then, I'm on the card, then I'm wrestling matches. It's a sense of earning something. That's so much better than giving something. You know what I mean? You gotta earn it, and that's kind of what I did that's how I went over there, and that makes, everything I've done, feel so much better in the end.
Definitely gratifying from all that early training, for sure. It's impossible to also ignore your tag team success. Big portions of your career, whether really strong singles, strong tag team. What have you found the biggest differences in working with tag team to working independently? I know, not necessarily independently, but in singles, because I often hear, there's that coordination between you and your opponent, but you add two more bodies to it. There's a lot that can go right and can go wrong, but maybe if you could talk from that.
Yeah, well, not having somebody in the corner of the tag is definitely a different feeling. I think one of the good things about myself and Davey, when we were tagging, at any point we could split off and do our own thing. We could split up and go do singles, and then come back and do tag. And I think that we could succeed either way we went. And I think that was pretty unique for a tag team, because in so many cases you see tag teams break up or go separate ways, and then one might sink, one might swim. They might kind of both drift off or what. And I feel that we both could succeed either way we went. And of course, and the good thing about tagging is, well, aside from being able to take a break every once in a while and get on the apron, it was so much more collaborative. There's which can be a good thing and a bad thing. There's four minds going into a match and trying to create things, and myself and Davey coming up with new ideas and different ways to go about things, and new gear and new look. Like that all went into it, and it really helped us grow as friends and as a team. That was kind of the cool thing behind the scenes.
A lot of working together, but then at the same time, you need to put whatever you personally maybe think and maybe put what works best for the team. I guess is kind of the idea, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's whatever makes us work, whatever makes us match the best, whatever makes what we're doing, whatever makes the story the best. Let's just go out there and do that. And that's what our team was based on. That's why we came together in the first place. We both had a very similar mentality as far as pro wrestling styles and pro wrestling mentality.
No doubt. You guys had kind of a couple of rivalries though, right? You worked together, you broke apart, you worked together, you broke apart. Well, any differences between the programs that you had from then and say more recently?
I'm sorry, what was the difference between them?
Yeah.
Well, like myself and Davey, that's the, not cliche, but the type of tag team thing where you break up and things go astray and you feud and you try to get past it and move on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which last Slammiversary is myself and my wife against Angelina and Davey, and surprisingly like a hardcore Full Metal Mayhem match. Mm-hmm. We got through that and then we moved on, but the situation, the feuding going on now, like between myself and Sammy and myself and Tommy, it's a new feeling for me because it's a new kind of direction for me. It's a new character for me. I'm not necessarily the good guy in this situation, where before I'd always been the one on the other side. Maybe I'm the one who's been wronged, or you know what I mean. I'm the one who's trying to be that good guy and try to get through that situation. But now, I'm kind of throwing myself into it. It doesn't matter what happens to me. It doesn't, as long as I put the other person through some pain and punishment. That's kind of all that matters, and it's a unique thing for me. It's something completely new for me. So I've really enjoyed the opportunities I've been getting.
Well, and that was kind of, it's almost like you're reading my cheat sheet, but I'm kind of curious, like this whole new level of intensity, Eddie Edwards, that fans maybe weren't as privy to. I mean, a hard nosed, diehard, never give up attitude is really transitioned, but you're speaking into a whole new level of intensity. Where did that switch kind of go off? We could say it was Sammy to necessarily Tommy, but something internally. What within the character was amplified with your feelings, right?
It's just something that it's the emotion that's behind it all. I tried to just immerse myself in the actual story of what was going on. Sammy Callahan hit me in the eye with the baseball bat, stalking my wife, and trying to turn people against me and attack my friends and stuff. And if you think about that, if you live that moment, if you try to live through that, it's going to affect you. It's going to affect you emotionally. It's going to affect you mentally, spiritually, physically. It's just going to affect you. And it was something that, like I said, it was a new opportunity for me. So it was something that I was ready to dive into. I wanted to see, all right, let's get crazy. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. You know what I mean? Like, to kind of see how the impact is different, so we can do different things. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can. Let's push the envelope here. Let's push the envelope here. Let's try to, maybe I just do this. Maybe I just do that. Like it gave us an opportunity to do very different things, and kind of, I enjoyed getting the people to kind of maybe squirm a bit, or like they just to feel uncomfortable. That's okay. You don't have to be happy and loving everything that's going on. But I like that moment where, okay, this might be, all right, this is a little bit too much. I don't know. Like, I like trying to push the envelope and just getting creative with what we can do. And it's been very much a collaborative effort. And they just kind of given me the opportunity to run with this now. And something I'm really enjoying right now.
Well, it's often said, the most successful personas or characters are yourself turned up. Was this always something that was a part of Eddie Edwards, and we just...
It's something that I think is a part of everybody, and I think that's the beauty of the people that are watching and the people that can relate. Everybody's been through this type of thing, you know what I mean? Like, not exactly the same thing, but something that, makes you just, angrier than you could ever explain, just blood red mad. Like, this is something that it's inside everybody, and I just had to try to try to find it, because I've gone, my whole career just being, for the most part, being, the good guy and going out there and wrestling and, hey, trying to, please everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that was obviously inside of me, and now I feel that, I was able to find it, and something clicked, and I've just been able to kind of run with it. That Redemption pay-per-view where I finally got my hands on Sandy, and I got to beat him with a kendo stick, and you can feel the emotion in the crowd, and here I am, taping a man to the ropes. He can't defend himself, and I'm basically beating a lifeless body with a kendo stick, and people were behind it cheering for me, and it was like, so this is something completely new to me that I can do. Let's see what we can. Here we go. Let's see what we can go with now. And then when I came to the back after that, it was just, you could feel the emotion. It was like I said, I came to the back and it was like draining to me. I could feel it. I could feel like I left all those emotions out there, and it was like something just clicked. I think between everybody involved, between the office and myself, and let's see what we can run with here.
Well, when anybody's pushed to the limits, that's definitely what you tend to wonder, right? Yeah, it's a great point that it is within us. It's just a matter of what pushes us to that point.
Exactly, and that's, the emotion of pro wrestling is sometimes lost, but if you can find it and you can connect, that's a whole new story.
That's amazing. With Slammiversary taking place, what can fans anticipate from this match between yourself and Tommy Dreamer?
To simplify it, I'd say the violence. It's going to be a violent affair. That's what this is about. This is about violence. This is about pain. This is about anger. You kind of expect everything, but also expect the unexpected, because this is the type of match where anything can happen. That's the beauty of this House of Hardcore match. Anything can happen. Hopefully, anything can and will happen in this situation. People may be uncomfortable, like I said, at certain points. Who knows? And I'll put this disclaimer out there now. It's going to be violent, and so if you're squeamish, you may want to look away. But it's going to be like a car crash where you just can't quite look away.
Well, you can't quite look away, but you want to see it. But they've been on this journey with you, right? Everybody's wanting to see what's going to happen. Does this bring a close, or does this open up a whole new level to the character? I guess fans are going to have to wait and see.
Exactly. The good thing, we have Slammiversary on Sunday, and then we're following it up with 2 nights of TV tapings where we're going to see kind of how things progress, and so hopefully people will be able to come out and check that out. I think a few tickets are still available for Monday and Tuesday night. If we can put that out there,
definitely
come out and check us out, because it's always interesting to see after a pay-per-view how things go and how things unfold, and I myself am looking forward to it.
Before I let you go, I'm just curious if you're up for a little game. Okay, so here on the Pro Wrestling Post podcast, we do something special called Wrestling Tinder. I always get a chuckle when I mention the name. So much like regular Tinder, if you're interested in the topic, you swipe right. If you're not interested, you swipe left. And I have to kind of scour my brain for something that might be of interest to you. Okay.
Right for good, left for no.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay. So I throw out the topic, you swipe right, and then you go into your opinion on it. Okay. So often new school mentality of wrestling, too many spots, old school, slow and methodical.
Left.
Okay. This is a tough one.
Hold on, wait. I'm going to go back.
Swipe right. Okay.
Swipe right. Everybody, there's different flavors of ice cream for everybody. The professional wrestling, the great thing about it is there's something for everybody. If you don't like a certain something, you don't have to watch it. It's simple as that. You know what I mean? If you don't like the way somebody does it, you don't have to watch it. That's fine, but find something you like. The beauty of pro wrestling is there's so many different styles, so many different great wrestlers in the world today, especially right now. There's so much great wrestling around the world. Just support pro wrestling. This is what we're all here for. We're all fans of it, obviously. That's why we're all tuning in. That's why we're trying to find what we love. But there's not a right way or a wrong way to do it. It doesn't matter who says it. There's no right or wrong way. If you like one style, as a professional wrestler, I like a style, I'm going to go out there and do it. If you don't, if somebody else doesn't like it, they can tell me that, but it's not going to change my opinion on it. No. Everybody has their opinion, and they're all entitled to their opinion. I don't like when people think that their opinion is the be-all, end-all. I'm 1,000% right, because that's not true. Everybody has their own thought and their own minds, and if everybody can understand that, I think the world would be a much better and less hate-filled place.
It's freedom of expression. Go out there and just support what it is that you love, and you're doing that.
And that's not just in pro wrestling world. That's just in life in general. Find something you love and go out there and do it, you know?
Fantastic. I want to thank you, Eddie, for your time, for your energy. You sound exhausted. I know you've got a lot going on this weekend.
Just getting ready, man. Happy to do it, brother.
Thank you. On behalf of Eddie Edwards, this is Mark Madison for the Pro Wrestling Post podcast.
Once again, a thank you for listening to the Pro Wrestling Post podcast with Mark Madison, and thank you to Eddie Edwards for his time. Visit ProWrestlingPost.com for interviews, blogs, and upcoming events in your area. And you can also find the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Anchor, or whatever podcast app you prefer. Thanks for listening, guys.